You are welcome to the object detection project. So in this project, we are going to program our system and upload an image on our stage. In order for our program, our system to detect the image we have on the stage, we're able to identify all the various objects we have in that particular image and tell us the number of objects in the image and also tell us the type of objects or the names of objects we have in the image. So to start with, after opening Pictoblox, just as we did for the face detection, we need to go to extension to add the object detection extension. So when we click on extensions, we have object detection. So we patiently wait for our system to load the object detection extension. So once it is loaded, we realize that we have all the available codes or blocks of codes we need in order for our system to be coded completely. Okay, so now the model has been added, the object detection model has been added to Pictoblox for us. So to start with, we need to choose our sprite and we also need to load or upload our backdrop. So to upload our backdrop, we click on upload backdrop. It takes us to a window where we can choose the backdrop or the picture we want to upload on our backdrop. So I choose the picture and I open it. I patiently wait for it to be imported. And once it is done, I can move on to choosing the sprite I want to use. So this time around, I'm not using Toby. So I delete Toby and then I click on choose sprite. I want to use the square box. Where here is the square box. I select the square box and it gets added to my stage for me. So now I'm set to start with coding. So I can go back to my blocks and start. So to start with, I need to activate my green flag, which is under the events palette. So I choose when green flag is clicked. Now, after green flag is clicked, I need to analyze the image I have on my stage. So I go to my object detection and choose analyze image, not from camera, but from my stage this time around. After I'm done with that, I don't want the bounding boxes to show whilst my system is analyzing the image. So I select this block and I tell my system hide the bounding boxes or hide the bounding box direction. After that, now I need to work with the object, but I don't have objects as part of my variables. So I need to create a new variable. So I go to make a variable and I name that variable object. I'm done, I get object added to my variable. So I need to set my variable to 0. And this time around, my variable name is object. So I set object to 0. So I can see it added here, object is 0. So it starts from 0 and then it counts the number of objects I have for me till the end of my program. Now I need the width, the repeat until block, which is under control, to add. So I pick repeat until. And what do I want to repeat? I want to repeat counting the number of objects we have. And I'm going to set the number of objects to object. So to do that, I pick the equal to block. And then from the object detection, I can say get number of objects to be equal to, I go back to my variables, equal to object. After that, now I want to change my object by 1. That is, in getting the number of objects, it is going to count one after the other. And it's going to increase the number of objects by 1 once it detects a new object. After I've changed my object by 1, now I need to set the size of my box in order to cover up the width of the object it detects at a time. So I go to set. So I'm setting my object size. So I go to looks and I look for set size 2. So I add this block. Now I'm setting the size of my sprite, that is my square box, to the object. So I'm setting the size of my sprite to the object, not just the object, but the width of the object. So when I go back, I can get class of object here, and under the class of object, I can change class of object to width of object. Okay, so after setting the width of my sprite to the width of the object, now I need to align my coordinates such that my x coordinates are going to align with the x coordinates of the object, and then the y coordinates of the sprite will align with the y coordinates of the object. So I go to motion, and I'm going to pick set x to and set y to. I'm setting x to x position, and I'm set of the object, and I'm setting y to y position of the object. So when I pick class of object, I can change the classes to the x position and to the y position. It's to the object and not to one. So that means I'm going to place my variable object to cover up all these ones. So I go to variable, I pick object, and I place it here, place it there, and place it there. Okay, so now I'm good to go, but I'm not done. I still need to say the class of the object. That is, I have to go to loops and pick the say block for 2 seconds, but I don't want to say hello for 2 seconds. I want to say the class of object and not class of object one. So I go back to variables and pick object, and then I have class of object. So my system is going to detect the type of object I have, and it's going to tell me the name of the object. So we are done. So we are simply going to run our code and see how it works. So click on our green flag, and then we can observe that as it detects the object, it counts. So now let's click on the green flag. So the text person 1 and object is 1. Detects this as a track and it's 2. Detects this and this is 3. Let's try it for the last time. And let's try to watch both the class of the object, that's the name of the object, and then the object number. It is counting. So we have person 1, track 2, and person 3. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.